Welcome to Good Morning Hospitality, your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels to short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts. Good morning.
Good morning, Sarah.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
Welcome back to the United States of America. I've been enjoying watching your trip through your
Crazy.
stories and posts. Why don't you tell the viewers what you did as a fresh reminder? Because I have some.
Okay. Yeah, because I have to say I have not posted this on LinkedIn. I've been a little quiet on LinkedIn just because lots been going on. I've done a lot of trips and I've gone zigzagging around the world in the past 4 weeks. But just over the weekend, decided to do something interesting and basically visit 2 world wonders in 1 weekend.
Oof.
What does that mean? That means I was with a friend of mine and we decided, we were like, okay, well, let's go to Cairo and visit the pyramids. This would make it my last continent. It was also her birthday. And we found a flight that was on ITA Airways. So the Italian airlines, and they had a 10-hour layover in Rome. So we were laughing. We're like, oh my gosh, we should do this and do the 10-hour layover in Rome and visit the Colosseum, another world wonder. So within 24 hours, we would see 2 world wonders. Ha ha ha. Well, the ha 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 turned into, we took the trip out of the group chat and we made it happen. So we left last Thursday from Los Angeles, ended up noon on Friday in Rome, changed in the airport, held our bags at a baggage storage facility at the airport, went out, met with took tours Rome. So they have an electric tuk-tuk, vintage tuk-tuk, super cool. They took us around for a couple of hours from 2 till about 6 o'clock. We made it to the Colosseum. We had time on the arena floor, ran around the city, got a couple more sites, had some pizza, gelato, and back to the airport for our 10 p.m. flight to take us to Cairo, where we would land at 2:15 in the morning. And then we were up at 7 a.m. With Your Egypt Tours, the tour company there, and they took us to see the pyramids. And by 9 a.m., we were at the pyramids. No, by 8 a.m., we were at the pyramids. So, and then I was back in Los Angeles by 1 p.m. on Monday morning or afternoon. Crazy. Thursday.
We need an article. We need an article about that. That's a good title you have already. 2 world wonders in a weekend.
Yes.
And true world wonders that I'm excited to go see. You've got me motivated to go start seeing some of these places.
You know, I have to say,
it happen in a weekend. Like, you're just go, just make it happen.
Look, and this was, I know some people might be like, oh, that seems like something you would totally do, but that's actually was very uncharacteristic for me. For those that know me well, like I work all the time, and when you travel, it's hard to keep up with work. So, like, you really have to be on your A game, because you're not only out and about touring all day long, but then you get back to your hotel and you have to try and catch up on work, do some things, whatever, meet deadlines, all of that. So it's challenging. And I knew it was going to be a challenge, but I was also like, this, if not now, when? Yeah. Like, let's do this. We didn't even spend that much money, and we got to have an experience of a lifetime. So, yeah, and Rome is popping right now. So all these things just made me so excited. It was fantastic.
I loved it. And can I just say, here's my shout out that I didn't share backstage, which I love more than anything, was the wardrobe selection. I feel like you guys had movie set designer wardrobe selection for each location. Like, you perfectly matched where you were at. And when you're walking through the pyramids, I was like, the female Indiana Jones is fully going through the pyramids. It looked just like it, and I made it even better. Right?
Yes.
Like, it just looked like even cooler. So I wanted to let you know that I appreciate it, because I'm sure you had to think about, all right, what are we wearing on each day so that we match the location.
Totally. Well, and we were carry-on only. So like there was no time for error or this or that. And I have to say, I wore every single item that I packed. I was like, ooh, did I overpack? Did I do this? Whatever. And it, right.
So let's give a shout out to your friend, because she also has a great social media presence. What's her tagline or name?
So, well, Alice Ford. So Alice Adventures the Earth is her Instagram. She also has a PBS show. which is the same title. So check her out. She's a stunt woman by day, but she also does a lot of travel content as well. And she's amazing. So we just have a great time because like we go out there, we both toss up our drones, not in the pyramids. Obviously you can't do it there, but yeah, we have a great time creating content together. So head over to Instagram, check out my stuff. I'll do a post on LinkedIn. I'm still kind of like catching my breath. Go figure.
Yeah.
But yeah, talk about trip of a lifetime. It was amazing.
Well, I want to say you all inspired me to do a mini adventure on Saturday. I just finished reading the book Last Train to Paradise about Henry Flagler, who built South Florida hospitality and the train that connected Key West to Miami.
No way.
And Ernest Hemingway's book, and he has a house in Key West, the
Yes,
Hemingway
he
house.
does.
I was like, you know what? I'm going down.
He
And so I
does.
woke up at 6 a.m., drove down there,
No way.
spent the day, had lunch
Key
at Blue
West?
Heaven at Key West, yeah, from Miami. Took me
Oh,
3.5 hours and just stopped along the way to see stuff that I normally wouldn't see, and then came on back. That night, I was home for dinner.
Love this. And I hope like if you guys take away anything from what we're kind of talking about is that, you know, if you have a moment and you could just like choose to adventure outside of your comfort zone, be it just a road trip. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there are plenty of places to discover within a couple hours drive of your home, or you can do something crazy like I did and fly halfway around the world. Just all depends on your travel style. But again, these are like such great memories. Like, and
yeah, it was a great day. And you had a great weekend, right? It's just like, make it
amazing.
happen, people. And I didn't want to go. I remember I woke up, I set the alarm. It was like going off. I'm like, oh no, this is not
like,
a good
am I really
idea.
doing this?
No, let's go. Let's go. And it turned out.
Hey, I stalled when we talked about this. I was like, let's wait 24 hours. I'm the sensible one. Like if somebody presents me a crazy idea, I kind of get excited. And I'm always like, let's wait 24 hours. Let's like sleep on it. And then, yeah, it was destined to happen.
So, I love it. Very inspirational. So hopefully all of you go see a world wonder if you can.
Yeah. Let us know, by the way, where you guys are joining us from. If you've done anything like this, that was just like a last minute trip or getaway, big, small, it doesn't matter. And if it, I don't know, let us know what you did.
Good to see you. New name here. Good to see you.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Let us know where you all are watching from. We always like knowing where the viewers are watching from.
Yeah.
Type in the city that you're in right now, even if you're traveling, because we love seeing all the travel you do and all the different cities that are listening and watching. But
it's fun.
I think we should get into some news.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So, so this first one, Marriott has broken ground on its first NetZero hotel. That's kind of cool. This is certainly marking a new sustainability benchmark. It's interesting because even though, you know, for those that are following at least like the federal's green initiatives, and they are changing. So despite those changing, they're still going ahead with this. So I kind of love seeing that. What did you see?
What I like seeing is that there's a couple of things here. Is sticking with the green, even if you're not getting the credit for it, people still appreciate it and they want to see that in the brands that they support. And you also do see it in a lot of companies that still support this when they're looking for places to bring their groups. Like part of the RFP process is like, hey, are you a green hotel? The ways that you do it. And Noah said, Susan Santorini, surprise trip for my girlfriend who's turning 27.
Yes.
That's a good boyfriend right there. That sounds like a great trip.
There you go.
And Christelle from Santa Monica. Good to see that you're in a great place. So for this, I love seeing that they're still committing to it, even though that some of the credits you would get are rolling back. But, you know, you see it in a lot of hotels. One hotel did a great job with it. Six Senses, we talk about, has done a great job with it. And I think with Marriott continue to push, they can lead the way and show that it can still be done, being eco-friendly, still creating great hotels and really making good in the environment. So I love seeing it. And I know that it can be a challenge sometimes because you do have to spend a little extra, but you do get some savings on a lot of the things that you put in for power and water and, you know, energy consumption around the property. There's a lot of little things that you can do to make it happen.
Yeah. I mean, look, here's the thing. And I feel like this has been talked about over the years. Sometimes you have to make the right decision, even if it's not necessarily going to save you money, but you know that it's the right thing to do. Yes. You can be smart about it. Obviously, there are budgets, of course. But yeah, and again, like what this article says and what we were kind of talking about, like despite maybe not necessarily getting all the credits for it, they're still pushing ahead, which is great. So love to see this.
All right, Marriott, keep on pushing. Keep pushing the
Keep
green
it.
initiative. And
Keep
Paul
on
Manzi
keeping on.
saying green is still valued by the next generation of travelers.
Yeah,
I agree with
absolutely.
you, Paul. And there's a lot of, again, it is a big decision too, because there was times I worked in hotels that we would lose out on groups because we didn't have a strong enough green presence and they wanted to be there. So there is a whole financial part to it too, but
Yeah.
it's just starting that way and making it part of the being normal, because other countries do it as part of just their day-to-day life, and we're catching up.
Yeah, no, very much so. All right, let's go on to our next topic here. Hard Rock. They are expanding their Reverb lifestyle brand to Alabama. Alabama. By the way, are you familiar with this brand? I have to say, I'm not as
I've
familiar with
seen it
Reverb.
once, and I don't remember
Okay.
where I was, but I was somewhere in the middle of the country, I feel like, when I saw it. But yes, I've seen
Yeah.
it. Mhm.
So it's cool. This is a, I mean, go figure, music themed hotel. It is set to open in 2028. And I mean, this is kind of a big move. It's showing that the brand is expanding their reach nationwide,
Yeah.
really as we're seeing like lifestyle segments just growing. So
Yeah.
it's going to be coming to Florence, Alabama.
Yeah, what's cool, I think, you know what this reminded me of as soon as I started reading about it,
Yeah.
and it kind of struck me, it was the Graduate Hotel. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
that. Like Graduate Hotels kind of find like the second and third tier cities, but around college towns, and they made it very historic and took kind of the nostalgia and put it there.
Mm-hmm.
Now with Reverb, you know, they're going to some of these second tier cities. They're not focusing on the first tier, but these second
Yeah.
tier, it looks like. I don't know the
Yeah.
exact strategy, but they're building the second
Well,
tier,
they've
and it's
got,
cool because they're building
yes.
music, culture, like listening rooms, all different things for music fans. So you can be in these towns that have a little bit of historic, you know, sound behind them and music behind it, but also something unique in these markets that they normally wouldn't have, and make it cool.
It reminds me of like the W Hotel when they were like really coming on the scene and everybody was like, "Oh, this is so cool. It's such a different vibe." But the brand right now has two open hotels in Atlanta and then Hamburg, Germany. And then they've got 7 properties in sort of like in the pipeline. So they've got Kalamazoo, Michigan, Scottsdale, Arizona, and then Pensacola, Florida. So yeah, very, very neat.
It's very
I'm
cool.
into
And
it.
in that article, they mentioned the W Austin is kind of like now going
Yeah.
around the music scene. And so I was just in Austin. I wish I would have walked in. I walked right by it. They
Ah,
developed a whole like entertainment hub in their lobby area for DJs to be there. And then they also mentioned a new hotel down here by the DJ Kigo, the Palm Tree Club is what it's called, right? So it's like the
uh-huh.
hot spot down here. A lot of celebrities there, where it's like day club, nightclub, but attached to an old motel. I actually like preferred. It used to be called Shuckers. It was like on the water, very chill. But now
Oh yeah.
party scene. But a lot of people, that's what they're searching for, these unique experiences to stay in and that community that they're building. So most brands now, I think it's really what they're pushing for, is that unique vibe that kind of feels not corny, right?
Yeah.
But you can
Oh,
have
completely.
a cool crowd to be around that you feel connected to.
Oh, yeah. So wait, oh, so Jeremy, what's Jeremy's do you feel that hotels are opening too fast in comparison to demand?
No, look,
No.
I
No.
know that just doing a hotel, I'm doing a tiny one, and there's so much work and effort that goes into doing it, to really do the studies, to see how many people are traveling, to see how many rooms are in a market. You know, the good developers, the ones that are building the big brands, know like people are traveling, they're looking for this type of stuff. Let's put it up
Mhm.
and knock it out of the park. But no,
Yeah.
it depends. There's certain cities where they're doing short-term rentals and condo buildings a little too fast, in my opinion, like mine. But I don't think hotels are going too fast. But good question.
Yeah, no, great question. Also nice to see you again, Jeremy.
Hmm.
Thanks for joining us again. Yeah, no, it's interesting. And again, it's like travelers are craving something different. So I think that this completely makes sense. So love to see it.
Hmm.
It's really cool. Let's talk a little bit about 4th of July that happened. That was
Yeah.
kind of interesting. So 4th of July for those in the US, it fell on a Friday, and it was interesting because that ultimately kind of makes it a 3-day weekend. And it was interesting because it kind of produced sort of mixed results for some hotels. So some travelers were taking sort of like making it like a long weekend, either traveling a little bit before or afterwards. what was interesting is that like urban and resort markets really benefited while traditional business focused locations saw dips. I think that makes complete sense. I mean, I feel like
No
nobody
one's
worked that
working.
week.
Yeah, no one's doing any
Nobody worked
conferences
that
that
week.
weekend. Yeah. But I love it. I think we should figure out how to make this July 4th land on a Friday all the time. I
Yeah,
know it's
right.
impossible, but it was just great to have it because sometimes it lands on a Wednesday or Thursday. It's really in the middle of the week and it's not as fun for everyone to travel and go do these
Yeah,
things. But,
totally.
you know, unfortunately for a lot in the Southeast, it got rained out. There was a lot of rain during that time.
Oh,
So a lot of
yeah,
people
that's
got
right.
rained out in those weekends. So especially down on the beaches and resorts, like they still had a lot of people there. But they did see some cancellations due to some of the weather down this way. And then all the terrible stuff that happened in Texas that we talked about already. But
Yeah.
a lot of people were traveling. It was a record travel, right? We said that week too. So a record amount of people
Yeah.
traveling and going and experiencing new places. So,
Yeah.
but it makes sense,
Yeah,
right? Like you're not going
totally.
to put that conference on that weekend.
No, I actually loved it. I loved how like quiet everything felt. Los Angeles always gets very quiet around that particular. There are certain holidays that Los Angeles gets very quiet around, and that's one of them. So that just was nice. Although for those that know me well, or they certainly follow online, I do a lot of evening hikes, and I can't do my evening hikes when that happens. So for 3 days, they actually close the parks because they don't want anybody going into the
That's a
park and
bummer.
like
Oh,
right.
fireworks too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, very much understand it completely. But yeah, the whole city is very quiet aside from constant fireworks. So definitely interesting. All right. Should we kind of like move on here with our topics?
I think so too. And you're doing hiking. I just bought a weighted vest, 30-pound
Okay.
weighted vest. Will inspired me. Will Slicker's our producer here. So now I got one, Will, and I've been using it. My urban hikes are on the bridges in Miami. So I don't have
That's
any
great
mountains,
though.
but I go up and down them. Anyway, a triggered a thing. Shout out to Will Slickers and his rucking back there.
Yeah, well, yeah, those weighted vests are no joke. It's amazing how just like adding a little bit of extra weight can really, whoo,
Throw some 30 pounds on there. I'm ready to go.
yup.
Stronger here.
That's
And I
for
see
sure.
Michael is saying it's been a rainy and quiet in South Florida. It's been rainy, that's for sure. I can get a reservation at any restaurant right now. Seems pretty
Oh.
good for locals, but yeah, not good for the businesses. And Noah, going back to one of, or saying, what's your view on hotels having influencer created content as dual posts showcasing what people could experience? For example, like 4th of July. We love having travel influencers if
What
you're
do you
doing the
mean?
right
Yeah,
things. Yeah, I think it's great if you have the right
I did it.
influencer with the right brand. You got Sarah, who's a pro. So what do you think of that for Noah?
I mean, I did a whole series on it and did a bunch of TV segments talking about different hotels in the Southern California area as far as what the hotels are specifically doing for the 4th of
Mhm.
July. So, yeah, I mean, I again,
Right
if
influencer.
if your hotel is not on social media or not like sharing stuff on social, like it's like you've turned off a whole section of your marketing ability. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So, yeah, obviously, you should definitely be sharing all the things that people can experience, and it's nice to do it kind of through the lens of the influencers too.
Mm-hmm.
So, definitely kind of cool. All right,
Oh, let's see about this one for you. I was waiting. I was waiting for this
you
one.
were definitely
I
waiting
want to
for
read the
this one.
headline. You tell us what's going
Yeah,
on here
you read the headline. You
because I
get
want to
it.
set this up for you. This is your segment, really. Okay.
Yeah,
Delta. And for those that don't know, Sarah is a huge Delta fan. Delta
me too.
considers tiered premium strategy for basic business travel. What did you see here? Why don't you give us the bullet points? What do you
Okay.
think about this?
Okay, so they are so Delta Airlines is exploring these like premium tiers within its basic corporate fare offer. So basic like business class. It can include lounge access, flexible rebooking, pre-boarding perks. Their goal with this is to really serve the business travel segment a little bit better. And then with it, they can also boost like ancillary revenue. So it's interesting. So here's the thing. Oh gosh, business travelers are it's a very different travel experience when you're traveling for work versus traveling for leisure. You're traveling by yourself. It's generally things are compact. You're efficient. You're just trying to like get
Get in and get
through.
out. Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas I get it, like especially traveling like right now. Right now, I always am like, oh my gosh, what's happening? It's amateur hour. But it's right. other travelers who may only travel once a year, maybe twice a year, maybe once every couple of years, it's a very different experience for them. They've got a lot going on. There's kids, strollers, stuff, like everything is happening. So I do like that this gives an option for business travelers. What I don't know. So I'm not always a fan of like the pay to play, like all these different layers. Like that's not normal. Like I just booked this flight, the one to Cairo, and then we still had to like pay extra for our seats. And I'm just like, why? Why? Like, let me just choose a seat. Choose a seat within a certain category. I can pay for a different category. So sometimes I'm not a fan of that, but I do like that what they're playing with this is like lounge access, pre-boarding. I definitely like to be one of the first people to board. I just want to put my bag up, get settled in, like not deal with any of that sort of stuff. So, I mean, it's an interesting move. Yeah.
No, it doesn't rock your world, but we'll see how it goes. But I can see as a business person, when you have to work and you need a lounge access and Wi-Fi and get on the plane early, like you might be willing to do that and pay for some extra. Maybe not every time, but I agree with you. During the summer, I've been traveling a little bit more. Like I was standing next to someone. It was their first time ever on a plane as an adult.
Oh my gosh.
Right. And they were like, what do I do? Right. They haven't been there. So it's just like, all right, how do I get around these people?
Totally. It's definitely a different experience. For sure. Like, especially when you're like one person and you see like, oh, these people got in front of you. And it's like, it's a family of 5. And I was like, oh, it's not just one person in front of me now. It's now 5. And they're negotiating.
We're all going to get on there.
Yeah, totally.
And then we have some new viewers here. So I want to answer their questions. Like Gloria said, would love to hear your thoughts on how the hospitality and travel industry can utilize experiential marketing since it's such a huge trend right now. Well, I have it, I like seeing when hotels create experiences, and I've been a part of those hotels when you create a unique experience for a weekend. Like July 4th was always my favorite because I wanted people to have those images on their mantles of like very Americana. So I would go out and buy like 20 and 30-foot stars that people had to walk through. And then I would team up with Veuve Clicquot and Tom Ford and different people that create, unique retail food and experience on our property. But I also think you can work heavily with brands. I always tell brands that are starting out that want to get into hotels, whether it's a beverage product or a retail product, what is your experience like? I don't want you just showing something. What can you create that creates a whole vibe versus just passing out a cup of a sample, right? So I think they're huge on the property side. But what do you think, Sarah? As you do a lot of things for hotels, creating unique content about experiences, what do you think?
People don't want cookie cutter. They want something new and unique. They can get a room anywhere. They can get a bed anywhere. They can stay at home. Hotels should absolutely be leaning into like experiential offerings and then absolutely marketing it. That is what is going to be the tipping point that's going to inspire somebody to stay at one property versus another property. They're like, oh, I want to go to that because they've got the really cool bonfire and marshmallow thing that happens at 5 p.m. I know our kids are going to love it. They do, nightly like firecrackers, whatever it is. I'm making this up, but like
there's so many layers.
Totally. So many layers. So it's what travelers want. B, it's good storytelling and everybody wants to go for the story, So, I mean, that's definitely, it's obviously, it's not even just I feel like it's not even just a trend. It's what people want.
Yeah. Like what I would do, Gloria, it's a good question. Cause I miss doing this in big resorts. Cause I had a lot of access to things. My goal was, how can I create a moment that I believe this family will take a picture of and it'll sit in a frame on their wall or on their desk somewhere. And that was what I always drove me to create something awesome. So
love that.
Hopefully that answers your question, Gloria. That's how I always went into everything and challenged my team.
Yeah. Okay. Let's kind of quickly touch on these next 2 topics before we wrap up for today. So TSA, this is interesting. Did you know that TSA? Oh yes, sorry.
It might explain why I get stopped all the time, but okay, let's go.
So did you know that TSA, like if you sweat a lot, that will set off the alarms differently for TSA. So TSA is actually testing this sort of sweat shoe tech to streamline airport footwear checks. So like if
that shoe's a little moist, we're gonna need to put it in a tray. You just
That's
stand in this tray.
crazy. I've never heard of like sweaty
Yeah.
feet.
Travelers place
Like,
shoes on a tray instead of
yeah,
removing them entirely. So you put your shoe onto a tray to see how moist your feet are.
that's wild.
You're
This
welcome,
is
Gloria. Yeah.
This is crazy. So they've got TSA pilots are now testing this low-tech footwear scanners, aka they're calling them sweat shoes, to speed up this screening process. That's fascinating. So like I wear a very specific things when I travel because I want to minimize like setting off alarms, just want to get through. I have a bracelet that doesn't come off. We've talked about it before. So I know that this can always be a potential, but I'm totally trying to not set it off in any other way. But shoes, and I also wear specific shoes. I always wear sneakers because if I wear boots will sometimes set it off, especially if there's too chunky of a sole.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is interesting. I didn't know anything about the sweat.
Yeah, I
That's
haven't seen
wild.
it yet. But I was going, I don't know what airport it was, but they stopped me and they're like, an alarm went off, but on my head, maybe I was like, all right, too much gel, or I was sweating, and they had like scanned me on my last
Stop
trip.
it. No, really?
Yeah, for real. Put my hands up, they scanned me. Zzz. I was like, all right, I'm through.
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, by the way, when I was coming back through Cairo and we were going through security there, it was crazy. So it's like you go through and automatically they just like they're gonna like pat you down, and they had a stool and they're like, put your leg up. So you had to like put your leg up, and then they like felt. I was just like, oh my, this is highly personal. What's going on?
Put that leg up here, Sarah. We're gonna inspect it.
Yeah. Oh, what is this? I love this. You had no idea that this was
You're
the thing.
repulsed. Uh-oh, Kate. Are you a sweaty foot?
I mean, I sweat too. There was a period of time when they got super, and this is going to be a little bit TMI, but I think we can all like handle this. But there was a period of time where they made the metal detectors like so sensitive, it would go off for the underwire bra. And I got so annoyed because they would be like, and they'd have to like, just like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm wearing a bra. Like, this should not be what is setting off the alarm. This is completely crazy. So they would do that. And I'm like, yes, they're real. Like, well, that wasn't so appropriate, but whatever. Again, they were like, keep it moving, lady. Keep it moving.
This one's crazy. Get her out of here.
By the way, I love testing TSA to just kind of like keep it moving. So yeah, that's always fun. Yeah, that's a whole other story. So for those of you that don't know, I have two middle names. One of my middle names is Muhammad. Thank you, my mom. She thought it would be cool and cute. That's my dad's first name. So going through Egypt, they were like, why is your middle name Muhammad? We don't understand. I'm like, I don't understand either. So yeah.
How did I not know this? This is cool.
Wait, you didn't know this?
No.
That's like my party trick. Yeah, I'm Sarah Chantal Muhammad Dandashy. And
Sarah
so everybody
Chantal Muhammad Dandashy.
Yeah, my mom gave me Chantal first, so I could just go by Sarah Chantal Dandashy, just because that would just be easy. But you have to put your full name on everything. And so that Muhammad, so they look at my hand, they're like, we don't understand. Like, is she married to a Lebanese guy? And so this woman got it closest. She was like, is your father Egyptian? So she was on the right track. I was like, no, he's actually Lebanese. And that's just like click, 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 typing in my file. And I'm like, no, he's American, but like
from Lebanon.
So whatever, I made it through, obviously, but
yeah,
TSA. Say as little as possible.
Yes.
Say as little as possible. Okay. Let's quickly go here to our Tripadvisor thing, our last topic. Tripadvisor is launching an accessible travel guide section. This is fantastic. We needed that. Why has this not been out sooner? They basically are debuting a dedicated section for accessible travel reviews and recommendations, including mobility, accessible hotels, restaurants, activities. I think this is awesome. And this should have been included a very, very long time ago.
I think so too. There's so many travelers that it's so hard to go to these places. Like, they would love to travel and go to see these wonders of the world. And sometimes it's not as easy as you think.
Not at all. No.
There's no ramps and there's no places to go. And how can I get to my hotel room? How can I shower if there's a bath? There's all these things that I do feel for a lot of travelers that need this. And so I'm happy to see Tripadvisor making sure that it's there. And, there's a lot of people out there that actually go to hotels just to check on these things.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one guy down here in South Florida that actually sues all the hotels that aren't doing it the right way. So they know, like, oh, here he comes.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we're doing everything the right way. But you need people like that to really move the needle for the travelers that need help. So I'm glad to see Tripadvisor doing it.
Definitely. This is great. Again, it's something that should have been done for quite some time. So,
and Gloria just said, your mom was right. So cool. Gets you some street cred. Yeah.
Oh, I got street cred.
Gloria, you don't know. Behind the scenes.
Sarah Moe.
She's from the streets.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I got a little bit of Atlanta in me. I got a little bit of everything. A lot going on. Person of the world. That's what's happening. I'm kidding. It's French. It's not Atlanta. Okay. Yes. Oh, I love this. I love how brands have been catering to this community as well as the deaf community. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a big thing too. So
there's a lot. I'm excited to see what it is. I have to dive in because I know for a while I was helping not that my kids have autism, but there's a lot of children that do, and it's a whole other thing. So there's these different things that people need when they travel. So this is awesome.
Yes, this is great. All right. Woo-woo. Let's go on to our real-time recap. What did you see out there in the streets of hospitality?
Well, I was, like I said, in Key West at the Blue Heaven restaurant, trying the best key lime pie in the country.
Woo!
And my server name was Dee Dee. And Dee Dee was fantastic. She was didn't know what I was there for, right? I just happened to film a little bit. She didn't see it, but it was so nice and just genuine person, especially when you're a solo traveler having breakfast at like a full brunch place. Sometimes it can be a little awkward, but she was awesome and just great service, great hospitality, and a good spot. Plus, they had a lot of chickens running around the restaurant themselves and just a cool place to be. So shout out to Blue Heaven and to Dee Dee, who was a fantastic server.
Oh my gosh, that's great. I have to say the hospitality in Key West is they do it really well. So love to hear that. Okay, so I'm going to just do 2 quick shout outs. One for eTuck Tours in Rome. That was such an incredible experience. We had Pascal was he's the owner, and he also took us around. Phenomenal. It was just perfect. Like, we didn't have to think about anything, and we got to see so many interesting highlights, and it was just, he made our day perfect. It was easy. It was fun. We really just had a moment in just that short amount of time that we could like really feel that we were having that Roman experience. So shout out to them. And then also in Egypt, your Egypt tours. Look, we hadn't been to Egypt before, and there's a lot of bad press around visiting. It's also technically on like a do not travel to list, which clearly listen to. Yeah, because people are like, oh, it's dangerous and this and that. And
that's in my head. That's in my own head right now too. Like, that's what I think of when you're going to Egypt. I'm like, oh man, hopefully you're going to be all right.
Totally. And like to people are going to be pushy and trying to sell you stuff to, oh, watch out for the guys, all of that. And I mean, it was a phenomenal experience. They picked us up. They met us at the airport. They walked us through customs. So we got to go, they were with us, escorting us through customs. And they were with us for most of the time. There was one night that we took Ubers. We went to a local mall. I mean, even our Uber driver was like, are you sure you want to go to this mall? Do you want to go to another mall? Just, it was phenomenal. But your Egypt tours, they were fantastic. So knowledgeable. I mean, I would go back next weekend if I could. So, well, maybe in 2 weekends I could rest a little bit, but cool. Definitely awesome. They were great.
And Gloria, go see the key lime pie. Yes, it is the biggest thing I've ever seen. It's beautiful. Check out Blue Heaven.
Love it. Okay, our hospitality quote.
Wow. Should I read it?
Yes, you should.
Great hospitality begins when you truly see your guest. It's by the unknown, but it really makes sense. You really got to know. Once you see like who they are, what they really need, that's when you can truly help somebody and give them the hospitality they deserve. I believe it.
I agree. I mean, here's the thing. It's the connection is what makes the difference. You can get a bed anywhere. You can have a hotel anywhere, but it's the connection. And part of that connection is the guest feeling seen. So love that quote. Super simple, but
yeah. In front office, you're the key to this. As soon as somebody walks in, look up from your computer. Don't just say next.
Yeah. Next. Prego.
What's your name? Okay. Credit card.
Oh my gosh, love it. Now we're testing my Italian. Yes. Prego. Okay. So, wow.
Woo. We did it. What a show.
Woo. We covered a lot of topics in a short amount of time. We kept it moving.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to all the new people here. Diana,
Yes.
Gloria, Noah, great to see you joining our crew here in the
Good
morning.
to have you back, Jeremy. I mean,
Jeremy's
this was
back.
great.
Kate always coming back in here.
Stephen Sinclair, love.
Paul Manzi, all shout out to all of you guys that come in every single week. And if it's your first time watching, we're live every single Wednesday for the most part, unless something comes up. But make sure to follow us here at Good Morning Hospitality. And if you found some value in this, which I know you did, forward it on to somebody. I'm sure they would enjoy it as well.
Absolutely. So what should we tell everybody?
So until next week, stay hospitable, everybody.
Woo! See you then.